Robin, two amazing ladies are in the studio.
I know, they're fabulous.
Lisa McGinnes is here from Ocala Magazine. This is Ocala Magazine Radio, by the way. And Lisa's guest is Manal Fakhoury. Oh my gosh, it's been a long time. How you doing, Lisa?
Good morning.
How you doing, Manal?
Happy Friday the 13th.
Good to see you both.
Yeah, I didn't even connect that. It is a Friday the 13th.
Yeah, but this show is the antidote.
Birthday.
This show is the antidote.
Yeah.
Yeah, we made a special deal with whoever you have to make deals with. Said if you listen to this show, you don't got to worry about any of that Friday the 13th stuff.
Sounds awesome.
You're not superstitious, are you?
No.
Did you listen to the song I sent you, by the way, Drive My Car by the Beatles?
Yes, that was good.
Did you understand? You understand Arabic, right?
Of course, yeah. It was nice. It was nice how she integrated, because it starts in Arabic, and then finally she introduces the English version.
Yeah.
It was nice.
Yeah.
It was good.
Did you hear what I'm talking about?
No, I didn't hear.
Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. It's so pretty.
Okay.
It's so pretty. Can I take... Oh, you asked about the headphones. Are you okay with putting headphones on, or is it going to ruin your hair? You okay,
No,
Lisa?
I'm fine.
Oh, please.
Can I play the song?
Yeah.
I won't do the whole thing. I just want to show you a little bit of it, because the instruments are what I was going to ask you about. Listen, tell me what these instruments are. Isn't that beautiful? Here comes the hook. Here comes the hook. Listen to this. Isn't that great? I want to learn those instruments. I'm giving up the accordion, Robin.
Okay,
Gonna go for that.
we have to expand.
So that was in celebration of women being able to drive, right?
Right. And she's saying at that moment, she was saying Habibi, which is sweetie. I'm going to drive a car. I'm going to be famous. It's a nice song.
Oh, that is
Beautiful.
awesome.
She's
pretty voice.
wonderful.
Yeah.
That is awesome. Yeah, it's good to see the world changing for the better, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So tell me what we're doing, Lisa. What are we doing? Sorry, I hijacked the first part of your show.
No, that was beautiful, and it's certainly something to celebrate, right?
Yeah.
Well, I have here with me the new edition
Oh my gosh.
magazine that we've been talking so much about, our 40 under 40.
Oh my gosh.
So that is available all over town now.
Right.
And of course available online as well. So a few little announcements about Ocala Magazine, but then of course we have Manal here today to talk about the Youth Leadership Conference that's coming up later this month.
Oh yes.
So
Okay.
we for sure want to get into that as
So
well.
who's the guy on the cover? Who's that?
This is Stephen Preston.
Okay,
He owns
okay.
Next Step Fitness, which
Oh, nice.
is the gym where I've been working out every day.
Oh, okay. So you know him personally. Is that-
I do know him. He is there every morning when I'm there. But he is one of our 40 under 40 this year.
Nice.
And he's going to be hosting the party that we told you about. Our 40 under 40 celebration will be at Next Step Fitness, and that'll be on Thursday, July 26th, after work, 5:30, and everybody's invited. Our 40 under 40 are the honored guests.
Can I see it?
Of course,
Let me
yes,
see.
yes,
I want
yes.
to see if I recognize anybody in there. So I see how many people under 40. The older I get, the less I know people under 40.
So this year with the 40 under 40, they range in age from 18 to 39. So that whole age
So they're
range
all
they're
adult.
at,
Once you reach an adult age, is that the rule that you have to be 18 at least?
there's
Not
not
necessarily?
really a hard and
So like
fast
when
rule.
Alex Moy was, because he was making a name for himself before he was even 18.
Oh gosh, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Right. So he could have been one. I'm looking for the people.
He
you know.
did, I think he might have done more before he was 18 than most of us have done in our
Yeah.
whole lives.
Except for now. Manal, you,
Manal's always been.
your kids and you were probably they're a chip off the old lady block, right?
Yeah.
Well, I think, if you have the right environment and the right education and opportunities, it's easier to do.
Yeah. Well, your hair looks nice, Manal.
Thanks. Should I take this off?
I'm trying to see if I know anybody in here.
Makes a difference.
I recognized in the names maybe more than the faces. So
Okay, so now you get a chance to put the names together with the faces.
Yes.
And what you see in the magazine are these beautiful photographs of these 40. But if you follow Ocala Magazine on Facebook, every day throughout the month of July, we're featuring their whole bio. So we ask them some questions.
Nice.
We ask them some questions like, what's your favorite thing about Ocala Marion County? What are we doing right? What are some things we can improve in Ocala Marion County? And what we find, the common denominator with all of these people is that they're doing something to make our community a better place. So you get to read their whole full bios and some more fun information about them too on Facebook. So be sure to look for that as well.
Just the whole idea of celebrating people who are doing good things, I think it's just so healthy. I think it helps us as a community, whether it's about somebody we know or not, because there's so much bad stuff in the news that it's good to hear about people like yourself, Lisa. I mean, my gosh, you and your husband, the unbelievable contribution you make to all of us. And we wouldn't have known this if you weren't doing this show. That's how I got to know you, right?
Well, I love to highlight the good stuff. So that's what we love at Ocala Magazine is to bring attention to the folks who are doing good things in our community. So you'll read with these 40. There's nonprofit folks who do really good things.
And you're big with that
leaders.
too, right? With the whole nonprofit stuff. That's a big thing for you.
You know, that's why I love to bring folks on the show that are with the nonprofit.
She's the queen of nonprofits. Forget it.
For sure.
It's
no one can compete.
She's in everything. if it's not Manal and Mojo's, I don't know what would happen to Ocala.
That's right.
It's the two of you together. I don't know.
Yeah, so it's kind of my thing. You know, we're really excited about that charity register this fall to really bring attention to all of the nonprofit organizations and all the cool stuff they do for us.
Yeah.
And I think you had a lot more than 40 people nominated, so there's a lot of good people.
There you go. That's a good point.
A lot of good work.
That's a good point.
Sure did, yeah. And the nominations come in from all over the community. Anyone can nominate. So yeah, it was a tough call to just narrow it down to 40.
But that is a good point, Manal, that the 40 is kind of to stick to a theme.
Right.
But the 41st and up, all the other people, they're probably contributing also. Just they didn't, get picked. That's all.
Sure.
Yeah. Do they know they didn't get picked? Do the people who didn't get picked know?
No.
Okay.
We receive the nominations. We don't make the nominations public.
Okay.
So probably some of those people will be nominated again next year.
Oh, okay.
A lot of them have another chance.
Unless they're 39, then they're done.
Be 40 under 40 plus.
Yeah, there you go.
Plus.
Yeah, right. So how's Riyadh?
He's excellent.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How is Jamal? I haven't seen Jamal
He's
in a long
doing
time.
well also. He teaches at the college.
Yeah, I see him every once in a while on Facebook. I see all of you on Facebook.
Good place to hang out.
Yeah, I know. I just have to keep up with everybody, right?
Mm-hmm.
My apple tree. See my apple tree right in front of you, Manal? Right there.
Yeah, there it is.
See, that's famous.
Yeah, it's nice.
That's right.
Growing, huh? How old is this thing?
Oh, the pot or the tree?
The tree.
The tree's 1 year, and can I tell you the story?
Sure.
I had an apple, and the seed in the apple was growing.
Mm-hmm.
So, when you're in kindergarten, you put a little seed in a cup with a paper towel.
Right.
That's what I did. And it started growing. So I said, well, I got to put it in a pot. Next thing you know, I need a bigger pot.
Nice.
Now it's, I think, outgrown that pot, so.
Well, how fun to
Wow.
continue to follow its life.
I know. I'm hoping I retire and drink apple juice under it one day.
Good thing you got started.
So tell me what you're up to, Manal.
I'm up to some really nice things in life. I'm just really grateful for a lot of great things. We have a daughter ready to get married soon.
Really?
Congratulations.
We have our training with Tony Robbins this year, where we're traveling to different destinations around the world. And then, of course, locally, I spend a lot of my time at the prison. But coming up this month, in a couple of weeks.
Not as an inmate, though. We have to clarify.
Oh, I was trying to think of a joke, Robert. You jumped in there before me. I was thinking there's got to be a joke there.
Probably the most meaningful work I've done is there at Marion Correctional. But
I was going to
also,
ask you if you like the food, maybe.
no, I did try it once. There was a time when we were invited to the cafeteria, and it's a quick visitation, quick serving of the meal, and
Oh, really?
not much to eat.
Bread and water? Is it just bread and water? What is it?
No, it's a little bit more than that. They got some beans.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, that's something you're very involved in, right? And you work with forgive me for forgetting Marianne's last name. Marianne?
Oh, Marianne. Yeah, Janora.
Yeah.
Yeah, she comes. Yeah, she visits.
So that's part of your whole prison thing you do too?
Yeah, there's a
right?
whole team. There's about 15 volunteers and individuals that come and visit as guests. And whenever I meet someone cool or I get in a conversation, it's top of mind. Hey, would you like to come? Be a
you,
special
Lisa.
guest.
Lisa, you going to the prison?
I haven't been officially invited, but I'm sure that's coming.
Yeah.
Manal can talk anybody into anything.
No, but it's a great point. It's a great perspective. If you've never been, even if you don't want to commit to being a regular volunteer, it's a great experience to come. And it's nice for them to meet different individuals in the city.
And clarify that project, it's around writing or public speaking?
Yeah, it started with public speaking, and then it grew into what we call Gavel University, where we bring in other educational course programs, and then that grew into a conference, which grew into a Monday through Friday personal development program.
Wow.
So what is the key to getting rid of the things that block you from personal development? Like you meet so many people you know have potential.
Right.
And then they'll have the yeah buts. So the yeah buts are, you know what you should do? You should do this. And they'll say, yeah, but, and they'll give you an excuse. So what do you tell them as maybe a secret or a key to get rid of that wall, that little thing that's stopping them from reaching their potential?
It has to be their decision, and it has to be their own identity. Because I could say, that's it. I'm going to be an athlete. I'm going to really commit to being an athlete. That's going to be a value that I'm athletic. And then I start to put things in place. I'll have the goal, but not only the goal. I need to now create the plan to reach that goal. And it starts with, am I going to be, even when they come to the class that I'm teaching now, the advanced public speaking, it's up to them if they're going to come prepared, if they're going to do a little something extra, if they're going to introduce a prop. That's who they are. That's their identity. And so they get to decide how they want to be looked at, viewed, branded, present themselves.
And is that what you bring forward at your youth leadership conference?
Yeah, let's talk about that. That's exciting. This is our 5th year, and what I love about our youth leadership conference is the students that will be attending, and now we're attracting students from across the country, which is really cool. We have 2 kids coming from Michigan. We have California. And, of course, we have Tampa, Gainesville, Claremont.
How did they hear about
Orlando. Facebook.
Oh, really?
Social media.
That's your media.
Social media.
Yeah.
And also the presenters. Presenters are coming from Vero Beach, Jacksonville, different locations. And what I love is each year we have a little bit of, some of the speakers that have presented before, but the majority of them are new and presenting for the first time. Those that are presenting again are presenting different topics. But it's the type of information, education that would make sense for any of us, even as adults, to be able to be in that room and learn those skills and participate in the workshops. It is designed and programmed for middle school and high school students. Yet again, I've had parents that have offered to volunteer and help and have really enjoyed what they've learned from the program. I appreciate so much when I get a message, months later from students telling me I'm reviewing my manual and I just, recalling what I learned or how I'm using it. We have students that are coming back for their 5th year.
Nice.
Several. We have several that are coming back for 4th year, 3rd year, 2nd year. Probably 30-40% are first-time attendees, but we do have a lot of repeat students, which makes it nice. It makes it easy to fill the spots quickly.
Are the students able to get some kind of college credit for this when they attend the conference?
They do receive a certificate, and we do actually, what we've done in previous years is we invite a nonprofit, and that nonprofit, they basically dissect it and they come up with suggestions and ideas, and then they have the opportunity to become part of, whether they're an ambassador for that group. We've done Ramal services, we've done Interfaith. I remember another one that we did, but each year we let them come in. The CEO of that nonprofit will come in. It's one session, and they'll present. They'll explain what they do, and then we allow the students to break up in teams. And come up with they're coming up with a new tagline or a logo change or an event for them. And it's really nice. It gives them a chance to be creative, to present. It's to use all their skills. A lot of times we do that. It's one of the last presentations that they get to do.
And do you attend, Lisa, as part of Ocala Magazine?
I was lucky enough to go, I think it was 2 years ago. I was covering the conference for Ocala Magazine. And like Manal said, I got so much out of it as an adult. So I guess on 2 levels. First of all, it was really inspiring to watch these kids. I mean, I was very impressed with how well-spoken they were and the kinds of ideas that they came up with. And so that part of it was really inspiring because they're so young. But then also, I just felt like I got a lot out of it too, out of the presenters. I mean, these presenters are amazing. They're really able to attract some absolutely phenomenal presenters from all different kinds of fields to work with these kids. So it's a great opportunity for these kids.
I think leadership skills are so important and probably aren't taught in school. I don't know how leaders get to be leaders. You hear the expression born leader, and I suppose that's true for some, but I also know many people in my own life that were not leader type people when they were younger. And now, again, through Facebook, I meet them again after all these years. I said, wow, they have become quite a moving person in their community. And that whole leadership thing that you're stressing, the earlier you get it in life, the more it'll benefit you and your community.
And it's something you use daily. And, so I have a couple of quick little things that I remind the students and my children. Your mindset plus your skill set equals your success. So you can have really great skills, but if you don't have the right mindset, that's going to hinder you. And vice versa, you could have this really great attitude, but you don't have the aptitude. So you need to continue to grow those skills.
That's true. Yeah.
And another fun one that I tell my kids, and I usually, use in my communication, is that more skills equals more opportunities. So I'm always looking to improve my skills.
So how do you make the difference between the youth that are leaders for the good things and then the youth that are leaders for the bad things? Because you've got leaders on
the gang leaders
on both ends of the coin. How come the bad leaders,
good question,
the leaders that do the bad things are so successful?
And interesting, because you take me back to some of the work I do in the prison and some of the men that I see there and even some of the women. And they made bad decisions. Peer group is huge. Who you hang out with, it can really influence you. You can, and it's the things that you spend time listening to, and you have to be able to break through that and know that there is a better way. And that's what I hear from them. If I had attended, I actually did a leadership conference for them a couple of years ago, and we've repeated it. And the very first one that I did there, it was nice. People I didn't even know their names yet. And they had come up to me and said, if I had attended a conference like this before, maybe I wouldn't even be here. So what we have to remember, especially for those of us that are privileged to have, good parents, good upbringing, good opportunities or great opportunities, not everyone has that.
Right.
And somehow we need more community leaders to invest time in those individuals.
You probably don't know this about me. I worked for the Juvenile Detention Center for 7 years when I was younger, and I used to work with the counselors, and there was an ongoing joke. The joke was, none of these kids would be here if we could get rid of those wrong kids. Because that's what they all say. They say, I just got in with the wrong kids.
Right.
And say, well, who were the wrong kids, And so it sounds like if somebody is in trouble legitimately because they were a follower,
right,
then yes, leadership qualities could have stopped that from happening. And what Robert was talking about was like the leaders like John Gotti. We went to see that movie that Travolta is in, and that guy was a leader, but not necessarily doing good things. And so, as a leader, you can't be a leader unless you have followers, right?
Right. Well, I love John Maxwell's quick definition of leadership. It's influence. In one word, leadership is influence. And to your point, it's something that I recently, and it had to do with my work and the volunteering at the prison, is I used to even say to my children, make sure you're hanging out with the right kids.
Yeah.
Well, now it's not. Make sure you're helping the wrong kids. If there's it's not only hanging out with the right kids. Who are you really helping? And I tell the inmates the same thing, because many of them speak about their conversion, their transformation, of why they are the ones now taking these leadership classes there. And I'll say to them, what happened? What was the trigger? What was the point? And who else are you helping? From time to time, we'll have someone interrupt the class, and they sort of want to shun them. I said, well, let's not shun them. Let's see how we can help them. And so even for myself, I've shifted to really think about that same phrase.
So you're learning from your own thing. Who was your leader? Who was your mentor when you were younger?
I had many, but my mother, my father, my parents were great examples for me. And
if I was going to guess, I would have said that.
Yeah. No, I was very blessed, and I think you definitely learn. Not even it's just their actions. The activities the activities they included us in, the philanthropy that they did. The kids that we used to, when I went away to college, my room was given away to an exchange student.
Oh, wow.
And the only condition was one day you do the same. There was no repayment or fee or anything that my father had placed on them. Just, one day do the same thing.
And Elisa, you have a leadership role in Ocala Magazine because you have everything in Ocala Magazine that ties together for the present and the things that you're working for toward the future. And that's a very big job, too.
It is. It is, and as we've talked about, my mission with Ocala Magazine is absolutely to highlight the good in our community and to bring attention to the folks who are making Ocala a better place to live. So, I take that responsibility very seriously. One thing I want to mention is that we do have a small opportunity for young people with Ocala Magazine, and that's our interns. And right now, we are looking for interns for the fall semester. So college students who are studying journalism or writing, college students who are studying graphic design, social media marketing. We have opportunities for those students to come and be part of the magazine. And for somebody who wants that experience, it's really a great opportunity. We're a pretty small staff, so our interns really get a chance to experience a lot of things to learn about magazine production. Right now, I'm lucky enough to have a great intern who just graduated from the College of Central Florida in the spring. He's transferring to a 4-year university in the fall, and he's with me this summer. So he actually has helped with some of the writing in this issue of the magazine.
I wanted to ask you, Manal, we have a friend who had gone through some rough years in his life, spent some time in jail, and had a bunch of writing he did. It was all haphazard. He would find a book in the jail, find a page that was blank, and actually write on it. That was his paper. And he handed it to me one day. I said, "You've got a book here." So we took the time, and it took about 8 months, I guess, but he's got a book now. And
self-published.
And as I'm reading his writing, there's
He's
some of
amazing.
his writing, he's absolutely brutally honest about his own alcoholism, about his mistakes he's made in life, about how much he hates the sheriff and he hates the jail guy and he hates him. And you can see him starting to realize, as you go chronologically with his writing, that he's starting to recognize the problem is him.
Right.
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful, very raw kind of a book. Okay. So what I'm asking you, and I think this is part of your message, and it's kind of what Lisa was saying too, is that communicating, the ability to have the skills of communicating, whether it's writing or through art or whatever it is that you communicate with, must be something inwardly with all of us, right? Because I think that's what changed him, was all those writings.
Right.
Not the fact that the book was published, I don't mean that, but the fact that he was putting a pen to that paper and putting it all down.
And he did it on his own. Nobody told him to do this way.
So I think communicating must be part of leadership, yes?
Absolutely. And if you even take it down to one of the soft skills, it's the top soft skill. And it's what employers want. And imagine, and I've said that, we say that we speak to inform, to educate, to inspire, to persuade, to entertain. But ultimately, Lisa and I can have a great message. And if Lisa's able to articulate it clearly and eloquently, and I'm stumbling, and so her idea rises. It's so important. You can change the world with a speech. And you look at so many times, how do you persuade someone? It's with your words. So it's definitely something worth investing time in. And I also take it down to my own core, is why am I investing so much time with the Toastmaster organization or the TED Talks or the National Speakers Association? It seems that everything I'm touching has a path to communication. Is because ultimately communication creates understanding, understanding creates peace. And that's the bottom line, is we have to move towards that.
Well said, yeah.
And you also encourage people that have disabilities to work up to becoming a TED Talk person.
Right. Yes, there's no limitation there, in terms of that. It's just the idea. We are looking for individuals, which today, by the way, is our deadline for submissions.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, people are submitting. We've gotten quite a few great submissions and international submissions for people. And it was cute. My daughter was mentioning to my daughter, she's like, "Why Ocala?" I was like, "What's wrong with Ocala?"
It's got to be somewhere. Yeah.
We'll have to have Manal back as it gets closer to the TED Talk, so we can spend a show talking more about that. That'll be this fall, November.
Let's give out some contact information for the youth
The
leadership.
submissions,
The youth leadership, we probably have 3 spots remaining, which is exciting. And a lot of times, in previous history, people start calling you a few days before so often. And if you just go to the website, www.myfly, so myfli.com.
Okay.
You can register.
Okay. And Lisa, the magazine is out now?
Yes, the magazine's out, and there's a page where you can read more about the Leadership Youth Conference, and July issues out everywhere, 40 under 40.
Very good. Ladies, thank you for what you do for our community and for taking time to talk to us today.
Thanks for having us. I'll see you back next week.
Okay, we'll be right back.
اللي واحد أنا ابن حلال انت يا حبيبي ما بيهمني المال ولا بيت ولا أهل ولا عيال بس مالي أعطيك السيارة.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370.